Once upon a time, in the heart of Africa, in the ancient kingdom of Umobia, there lived a wise and wealthy king named King Emeka. His son, Prince Uzo, was a pampered young man who had grown up getting everything he desired without having to work for it. The prince was known for his lazy and entitled ways, never bothering with menial tasks or showing kindness to the palace staff. One sunny afternoon, Prince Uzo returned to the palace after a long ride and carelessly discarded his leftover fruits and crumbs near the palace gardens. Ezinne, a bold and hardworking maid, couldn't hold back her frustration and confronted the prince. "Why do you litter our palace grounds, Your Highness? Can you not dispose of your waste properly? You make the maids work harder with your carelessness." The prince coughed. "Why should I bother? It's the maid's job to clean up after me, isn't it?" Ezinne retorted, "Your Highness, making it harder for us does not befit a prince. It's not right to take advantage of others because of your station." The prince, unimpressed, replied arrogantly, "I am the prince and I can do whatever I want. If you find the work too cumbersome, you can find another job. I am not answerable to you." Enraged, Ezinne couldn't contain her anger and uttered a curse under her breath. "You will learn the meaning of hard work and humility, Your Highness." The next morning, Prince Uzo awoke to a startling realization. Everything around him had grown incredibly large. To his horror, he discovered that he had shrunk to the size of an ant. His attempts to get the attention of his father or the palace guards were futile, and he found himself unnoticed and ignored. King Emeka, presuming his son had gone on another impromptu journey, overlooked his absence. As he wandered in his diminutive state, the prince was captured by a group of industrious ants. The prince had not eaten all day and was terribly famished, so he couldn't resist them and was taken away to their colony. Once there, he noticed how hard they worked and how organized they were in carrying their tasks. As tiny as they were, they got things done faster than anyone else could and had plenty to eat and drink. The ants invited him to join them and learn how to gather his food. At first, he protested, declaring his royal heritage and refusing to labor as a commoner. But hunger and helplessness soon humbled him. He had no choice but to work for his sustenance. He cleaned, built, gathered, and carried, experiencing the immense toil of the ants' daily lives. After nearly 2 weeks, Prince Uzo realized the immense effort and diligence it took to be a humble worker. It was no small task, and it made him think about the workers in the palace and his subjects. Back at the palace, the king had become overcome with worry. Prince Uzo usually went on adventurous escapades and had spent days in the wild doing whatever it was that made him merry. But this was strange. His absence had been quite lengthy. Search the palace grounds, contact his friends, and be sure to bring him back home. It's about time he learned to be responsible for himself and for the kingdom, King Emeka ordered. They looked everywhere but could not find him. It seemed as though he had disappeared with the wind. Prince Uzo had wandered away from the ants' colony. He longed for his home, his family, and his people. On his way, he saw from afar the search party that had been sent out for him. He shouted as loud as he could and waved his tiny little arms, but to no avail. They couldn't hear or see him. Dejected, he laid down underneath a large tree just outside the palace and wept. It felt awful to be ignored and treated as though he didn't exist or matter. He felt deep regret for the disdainful way he had treated the palace staff and vowed to become a better and more considerate person if he ever returned to his normal self. Surprisingly, the next morning, Prince Uzo awoke to find himself restored to his usual size. Overcome with gratitude and a newfound sense of humility, he hurried back inside the palace with a firm resolve to become a different person. He endeavored to change his ways and live like he had learned from his adventure with the ants. To the astonishment of everyone in the kingdom, the prince began to exhibit a transformation. He started cleaning his chambers, offering to assist with chores, and even volunteered to help the maids with their tasks. He could tell no one about his experience because they wouldn't believe him. Even he could not explain how he had reduced in size, but the experience had taught him a good lesson. Everyone was important, and no one is beneath anyone, regardless of their status. As time passed, he developed a close friendship with Ezinne, the maid who had confronted him. Their bond blossomed into something deeper, and before long, they fell deeply in love. Prince Uzo asked for her hand in marriage, and in the beautiful ceremony, filled with the vibrant music and dance of the Igbo people, they were joined in matrimony. The once lazy and entitled prince had become a changed man, now known for his humility, kindness, and willingness to help others. He learned that hard work, respect, and empathy were virtues of a true leader. And through his own transformation, he became beloved by the people of Umuobia. From that day forward, Prince Uzo and Ezinne ruled with compassion and understanding, setting an example of unity and humility for generations to come in the illustrious kingdom of Umuobia. And so the tale of the sluggard became a legend that was told for centuries, inspiring the importance of humility and the transformative power of hard work in the hearts of many.